and making our communities stronger. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Denise Roche.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker. Tēnā koutou ki te whare. The Greens will be supporting this bill. Our policy is for 13 months paid parental leave, and this bill to extend paid parental leave to 26 weeks is a good start in progressing that. If we're going to look at where we're going, we should look at where we've been. The provision of 1 year's unpaid parental leave was introduced in 1987, and it was a major breakthrough for families because although it wasn't paid, it meant that if they could afford to, a parent could take a year off to be with their child and be assured of having the same job there when they came back. And that's the crux of the matter, being able to afford to take time off, to have your children and have enough time to bond with them. In the state sector at that time, they tended to lead on good employment practices, and they still do, and I hope they continue to do so. And they had some provisions for paid leave during that time. And it wasn't until 2002 that the Labour Alliance government, with the then Honourable Minister Laila Hare, introduced the first provisions for paid parental leave, 12 weeks. And by 2006, that had extended to 14 weeks of paid leave. Since 2002, an estimated 190,000 people, mostly mothers, have accessed those 12 or 14 weeks of paid leave. And looking at the trend over the last few years, more people every year are using it. Its introduction has gone some way towards easing the financial shock that happens when a newborn enters the family and the income of the parents plummets. And I remember my own experience when my son was born in 1994. His father and I shared 12 months of unpaid leave, and as well as adjusting to the new circumstances of having a helpless infant that we were responsible for, we also had to manage halving our income. We extended the mortgage to cover that time off. Today we're hearing the same arguments against 20 weeks paid parental leave that we heard back in the 90s, that we can't afford it. And that was the same argument that we heard in the 70s about equal pay. We got them introduced, and guess what? The economy did not grind to a halt. The country did not go broke, and the sky did not fall in. We've become so used to thinking in the short term that we no longer think in the long-term benefits, and these long-term benefits will outweigh the costs. There's no doubt that 26 weeks leave is good for babies. The World Health Organization recommends 6 months breastfeeding as a way of improving and ensuring physical and emotional health for the child. Kids who have a parent at home in their first year or so actually have better cognitive and fewer behavioural problems as they grow up. That child-parent attachment is critical to the child's longer-term prospects. That child-parent attachment leads to less abuse, less neglect of children, and that's the cost that we all bear as a society. We must create healthy, strong families as soon as a child is born. 26 weeks paid parental leave eases a family's immediate financial stress, and research has also shown that generous paid parental leave results in more women returning to the same job they left, which pays off for employers who have invested in those workers. It also means working mothers are able to maintain their ability to provide for their families. We really are slipping behind international best practice with our paid parental provisions. Last year, Australia introduced 18 weeks paid leave, giving working parents the opportunity to choose between that or opt for a baby bonus of $5,000. As our population ages, it's crucial that we're able to attract workers and a skilled labour force. To compete, we need to be able to provide the same, if not the better, provisions that are enjoyed elsewhere. We must get over our short-term thinking. If we invest in paid parental leave, we will get good returns. It's good for the economy, it's good for babies, it's good for families, and it's good for our labour market. Tēnā koutou katoa.
Kia ora, Flavel.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker. Kia ora no tātou katoa.